In this lesson, we'll learn about a few fundamental layer types in Figma Design and use them to build the hero for the landing page of our portfolio website. A hero is a large section at the top of a web page, typically used to draw attention, convey a message, or prompt an action. We'll start by building an avatar using a shape with an image fill, then use text layers to add our name and a brief description about ourselves to welcome visitors to our page. You'll need a photo for the avatar, so make sure you have one ready to go on your computer. Now let's head over to the Explorations page and add our first layer. In Figma Design, layers are the building blocks you'll use to create your designs. There are a few fundamental layers you'll use in Figma Design: text, shapes, and frames. Each layer represents a piece of your design, allowing you to separate the background, the objects, and the individual details. This helps you control how each layer looks, the order in which they appear, and how they interact with one another. Each layer type comes with various properties that control its appearance and behavior, such as its position on the canvas, or its width and height, what color it is, if it has a stroke and if there are blurs or shadows, or typographic settings like font family, weight, and line height, and many other properties. All these layers come together to create a flexible design where you control each detail. You can view every layer on the canvas in the Layers section in the left sidebar. Each layer has an icon to indicate the layer type or if there are any special properties applied to it, like this layer, which has an image fill. This section also shows us the hierarchy of our layers. For example, this image layer is above the text layer in the Layers section. On the canvas, this is reflected with the image sitting on top of the text. We can move the image out of the way to reveal the text, or we can flip their order in the Layers section so that the text layer sits on top of the image. To build our avatar, let's start by creating a shape. In Figma Design, there are 6 shape tools: rectangle, line, arrow, ellipse, polygon, and star. We want our avatar to be in a circular shape, so we'll use the ellipse tool. Select the ellipse tool from the toolbar or press O on your keyboard. Click anywhere on the canvas to place the ellipse. Notice how the right sidebar changed and now has some properties for us to edit. If we look in the Layout section, we'll see the shape's dimensions are set to 100 by 100. The ellipse is too big, so let's resize it by entering 90 in the width and height fields. Press Enter to apply the change. When we add a shape to the canvas, we are actually creating an outline of that shape, also called a vector path. By default, Figma fills the space inside a path with a solid gray color. If we want something different to go inside that path, we can use the Fill section in the right sidebar to give our layers color, weight, and texture. When you click on the fill swatch, you can choose a fill type and adjust the settings unique to that fill type. We can make the fill a solid color like blue or red, combine multiple colors into gradients, add an image, or bring layers to life with video. Layers can have more than one fill. In the right sidebar, you can click the plus to add fills on top of one another to create a custom look, such as placing gradients over an image. Drag them up and down to reorder them, or remove them from the mix. Fills are not limited to just shapes. They can also be applied to other layer types like text, frames, and sections. Since we want to include a profile picture for our avatar, let's change the fill to an image. With the shape selected, find the Fill section in the right sidebar and click on the swatch to open the color picker. Select Image near the top and click Upload from Computer. Choose an image from your computer and click Open. If you'd like, you can adjust the image settings like saturation, contrast, and temperature. If an image isn't quite where you want it within a shape, there's the fix. With the layer selected, click the Crop Image button at the top of the right sidebar. Click and drag the image to reposition it. You can also resize the image. Rather than using these blue handles, which will resize the overall shape layer, click and drag the edges of the image. You can hold Shift while doing so to keep the image's ratio. Now let's move on to our bio. We'll need to create a couple of text layers for this portion.